This is Pride Season, and today's episode is about moving beyond surface level pride and building real self love from within. Hey, this is Steph, and welcome to the Together Moving Forward podcast. A podcast helping 2S LGBTQI plus people embrace self love and self respect so you can celebrate yourself with pride. In this episode, you'll discover how pride and identity connect directly to your ability to build real self love, why external achievements won't fix internal struggles, and what actually will, the small but powerful steps you can take to start reclaiming your identity and worth. Today's conversation is about moving beyond surface level pride and building real self love from within. This episode will guide you forward one step at a time. Hello again, I'm Steph Vachon and I'm a human being. Welcome back to the Together Moving Forward podcast. Embrace your choice LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self-love. No matter where you stand in the choice LGBTQI plus spectrum, we are all connected. And if you ever struggle to fully love and respect yourself, you're not alone, and this podcast is here to help you. As someone who has navigated my own journey of self acceptance as a queer, I know the power of hearing voices that reflect our experiences. In this podcast, you'll hear real stories and conversations that leave you with practical tools, fresh perspectives, and the confidence to embrace who you are with pride. To start, I need to say that I'm not a psychologist, a specialist, or someone with a college degree. I'm just a regular guy here to share with all of you and support each other. I will share my journey, and we will all share our journeys together. We'll learn from each other how to move forward. Today, we talk about why Pride is not just a celebration, it's healing. As Pride season has arrived, I've been thinking a lot about what Pride really means. We are seeing rainbow flags everywhere. Pride events begin. Parades, celebrations, community gatherings, and powerful moments of visibility will take place all around the world. For many people, Pride is a celebration, a joyful moment, a colorful event. And yes, Pride is all of that. But for many of us in the LGBTQ plus community, Pride is much deeper than that. Pride is healing. Because for many of us, Pride begins after years of silence, fear, and shame. And I know that feeling very well. Growing up, I didn't feel proud of who I was. I felt different. I felt afraid. I felt ashamed. I learned very early in my life that being different was not safe. I experienced homophobia, bullying, and rejection, and slowly I started to hide who I was. I became very good at performing. I smiled when I was hurting. I stayed quiet when I wanted to speak. I tried to become invisible. And over time, I lost myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't respect myself. I didn't even know who I was anymore. Not because I was weak, but because I was surviving. And survival mode doesn't leave much room for pride. For many of us in the LGBTQ plus community, pride doesn't start with celebration. It starts with healing. Healing from the words we heard growing up, healing from rejection, healing from feeling like we didn't belong, and sometimes healing from ourselves. Because when we hear negative messages for so many years, we begin to believe them. We start judging ourselves the same way others judged us. We shrink, we hide, we stop dreaming. And that's why pride becomes so powerful. Because pride is the moment when we begin to say, enough, enough hiding, enough apologizing, enough believing that we are not enough. Pride is when we begin to reclaim who we are. For me, pride didn't happen overnight. Oh no. It was a long journey and it's still going on. There were moments in my life where I thought changing my environment would fix everything. I traveled, I moved, I started new relationships. I tried new things, hoping that somewhere, somehow, I would finally feel proud of myself. But the truth is, the pain was still inside me. I remember one moment very clearly in my life while touring around the world with professional light shows. Standing at the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, I had always believed that reaching that moment would finally make me feel proud, that I would finally feel like I had accomplished something meaningful. But instead, I felt empty. I felt alone, and that moment taught me something very important. Pride doesn't come from achievements, pride comes from within. It comes from learning to accept yourself, it comes from learning to respect yourself, and it comes from learning to love yourself. And that takes time. My healing journey truly began when I decided I could not continue living the way I was. I started therapy. I started writing my story. I started reading books. I joined group supports. I started reconnecting with the little boy I once was, the one who was full of creativity, passion, and dreams. That's when things slowly started to change. I started learning to set boundaries. I started learning to respect myself. And I started learning to speak my truth. And slowly, pride began to grow. Not loud pride at first, quiet pride. The kind of pride that says, I deserve to be here, I deserve to exist, and I deserve to be loved. Later in life, becoming a father brought me even more healing. Giving my son the love, safety, and acceptance I didn't always feel growing up helped me heal parts of myself I didn't even know were still hurting. Because to teach him self love, I had to practice it myself. And returning to figure skating later in life at my age, in my mid 50s, was another powerful moment of pride for me. Stepping back on the ice felt like reconnecting with the little Steph I lost so many years ago. It wasn't about competition or performance anymore. It was about reclaiming my identity, my joy, and my story. That's what pride really is. Pride is reclaiming who you are. Pride is learning to stand in your truth. Pride is saying, I am no longer hiding. Pride is also visibility. Because when we see someone living authentically, it gives us permission to do the same. For someone attending their first Pride this season, it might be the first time they feel safe, the first time they feel seen, the first time they feel they belong. And that can be life changing. Pride creates community, pride creates connection, pride creates hope. And sometimes pride saves lives. But pride doesn't only happen once a year. Pride happens every time you choose yourself, every time you speak your truth, every time you set a boundary, every time you show kindness to yourself, every time you stop apologizing for who you are. Those are all acts of pride. My journey may not be perfect. Mine certainly wasn't and still isn't today. Healing takes time, but every small step matters. And maybe today, pride for you is simply being here, listening, reflecting, taking a moment to think about your own journey. Because pride begins the moment you start respecting yourself. And if there's one thing I want you to remember today, it's this: pride is not just about celebration, pride is about healing, pride is about self love, pride is about identity, pride is about becoming who you were, always meant to be. You deserve that. You always did. And together, we keep moving forward, one step at a time, with pride. And before we close, I want to take a moment for those of you who are listening right now from places where it is still not safe to be who you are, where pride cannot be celebrated openly, where being yourself can come from fear or danger. I want you to know this. We see you, we think of you, we carry you with us. Even if the world around you does not yet feel safe, your identity is real. Your feelings are valid. Your truth matters. You're not alone, even if it feels that way. There's a whole community around the world that understands you, that stands with you, and that is fighting every day for a future where we can live freely, safely, and proudly. And until that day comes, your courage matters more than you ever may realize. Even the smallest act of being true to yourself, even quietly, is an act of pride. Hold on to who you are, protect your light, keep the faith, never lose hope, even on the hardest days. We are with you, you're not alone. I'm always looking for inspiring guests for the podcast, and I'd love to have you or someone you know share your journey with pride. The world needs your story. It has the power to change lives, and your voice matters. Reach out and send me an email today. Also, I'm now booking keynote speaking engagements. My talk is From Survival to Self Love, how I finally learned to embrace my LGBTQ identity with pride, and how you can too. Details at togethermovingforwardpodcast.com under speaking. It is already time to say au revoir just for now. Join me every Monday for brand new episodes of the Together Moving Forward podcast and learn how to embrace your 2S LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self love. Wherever you're from in the world, we are all connected. Remember, solidarity beats hate. The more we unite, the stronger we become. Because at the end of the day, we are all equally human and we all deserve the same rights. Before we close with our weekly positive thought, I want to tell you what this one personally means to me, especially for pride. My identity is valid and beautiful. For me, this is something I had to learn over time. It didn't come naturally. For many years, I questioned who I was. I compared myself. I judged myself. And I tried to hide parts of me just to feel accepted. But today, this affirmation means choosing to see myself differently. It means recognizing that my identity is not something I need to fix, change, or apologize for. It's something I can honor, something I can be proud of. It means understanding that my story, every part of it, has value, even the difficult moments, even the times I felt lost. They all help me shape who I am today. And most importantly, it means allowing myself to feel worthy of love, respect, and belonging exactly as I am. So I invite you to sit with this thought. My identity is valid and beautiful, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, even if you're still learning to believe it, because pride doesn't start outside of you, it starts within you. Now is the time to put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. Yes, you and me together. This week, positive thought. My identity is valid and beautiful. Yes, my identity is valid and beautiful. From shame, guilt, silence, and rejection to pride, freedom, healing, and love. Together, we are moving forward. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for sharing this journey of growth and love. I truly appreciate you. Happy Pride to you. See you next week. Ciao. Do you know anyone in the LGBTQ plus community who feels disconnected from their true self, wishing they could embrace their identity with confidence and pride? Share this episode now and help them step into self-love and self-respect so they can truly celebrate who they are with pride, feel empowered, and make a real difference in our community.